This is the Ride to Happiness. It is considered to be one of the best roller coasters ever built. Why, you may ask? Well, it's a mock extreme spinner, meaning it's extreme and spins you, giving a unique experience every ride. So that's exactly why I'm going to build it. I started construction with taking my old launch and then building a base for the first element, which is this weird top hat element. I then built up the supports for the first section of the ride using tube supports. As you can see, I found a way to switch between the different spinal track designs using a simple method that just uses a couple pieces. I now want to walk you through how I build a support like this. Starting with the main support, I then add the first brace, using different connection methods, like in this example using hinges. I then added the next big support, and then finally added a bunch of other cross braces. As you can see here, I used a bunch of different methods to connect all the tubes together. Here are some of the connections from the support to the base. As you can see, a lot of the supports go into the base that I built. I then added in the track and gave it a test. I've been working on the banana roll now. Not 100% done. There's some smaller supports that I'll need to add on these bits here. As well as this top section doesn't look perfect yet. I was also working on a spinning trains, which look pretty good. More on that in a little bit. So I'm gonna just finish this now. I then finished the supports for the banana roll and extended the base out for the next element, which is a loop. Here is how I built the loop. I started with adding the spinal track and some temporary supports, just so I could get the shaping how I wanted it. I then went in and added the supports, and finally adding in the track. After about an hour, I finished the loop. This is definitely one of my best loops that I've built. The supports were actually not that hard to build. I did them a little different than the real thing. Like here, they're supposed to be two tubes, something like this. It's just a little overkill for this model, as well as they're supposed to be a support like this, which I may add after I test it, which I'm going to do right now. Okay, I think it's about time we talk about the cars. I started with taking off the decorative parts from the cars, and then building up the spinning car design. Then I simply hot glued them together, making sure to add the chain dog for the front car. Next, I built the zero-G roll that goes through the supports of the first element, and then I built up the airtime hill following that. So I finished the zero-G roll, and then I also built the little airtime hill before the second launch, which is going to go there, which I'm probably going to try and do with just a really fast chain, with using like a drill or something. Not exactly sure how I'm going to do that, but it's looking really nice. It's all working. I think I'm going to give you a little quick test now. Alright, so I don't know the last thing I recorded, but I finished the launch, I got it working, and I also built the, I'm not really sure what that is. The launch is actually really simple, it's just a rubber band, and then it'll twist back, which makes the gear go back, and then that will lock it in place. So when the car goes by, it it will hit it, which will obviously release that. So that's working. This was really annoying to do because it's so tight. So the car like loses a lot of speed just because it's hard for it to traverse it. So I'm hoping that won't be a problem. Since that last clip, I disassembled the coaster and moved it out of my room. I then put it back together to resume construction. So I've been having some problems with this top area here. The track is like really tight, so the car it gets stuck almost. So what I'm gonna try and do is I've already tried to add more rods to make it stiffer and smoother, but I think I'm gonna try and move these so it's more flat like this, and then I'll probably have to reprofile the half loop there. I could also try and make the launch a little stronger. We'll just see. I'll probably try and make it a little stronger first, and then I'll see if I need to fix this. To make the launch stronger, I simply move the rubber bands back a red rod length. The first launch is actually pretty simple. There's a crank in here which the string wraps around, and then a couple gears which you twist to pull the string back, which then brings the rubber band, stretches it out, which brings the orange connector or the catch car all the way back, and then this red connector and yellow section here, it will make it so that you can twist it back, but it can't twist this way. So then to actually launch it, you align the car and then wait for the click, and then simply pull the yellow lever, and then it launches. The second launch, which is a rolling launch, is even simpler. It's just a chain with a rubber band, and then you just twist it. You just pull the chain. Right now I don't have the gears like I do on that one, so I have to manually pull it back. This is the locking mechanism. It's just a gear and a couple rods and connectors. So what happens is the train will come down and then bump into this, which will allow the chain to move, thus making the train go forward. Then I got straight back to work building the airtime hill, following the step-up underflip, which comes right after the second launch. I then built up a base using the spinal track as a guide. So I finished the little finale section. Not all the angles are 100% accurate just because of the limitations with the micro track. I'm pretty happy with it. All I have left is to do the JoJo roll and then the station, and then just connect her up. Coming right after the station is the JoJo roll. Why it's called that, I have no idea. Anyway, I built up a base and then tried to come up with how I wanted it to look. It's not perfect because, again, the limitations of microtrack. However, I did get it to look pretty realistic. I finished out the layout with building up a base, and then finally adding the last bits of track. If you've made it this far into the video, you should go like it and subscribe, as I have big plans for the future. So here's the final build. It's a lot bigger than I thought. It used more supports than Alpenfury, which I was actually kind of surprised about. I was actually surprised that I was able to have the full larger base, because I've never done that for like a full coaster. I didn't think I was gonna have enough pieces, so now I just gotta tidy it up because I have all my my pieces lying around, and then I can record it.